Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Took me a minute to get started. Had to make sure that my stream was okay without any like lags and all of that stuff, you know. So welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. Right, we're going to get right into Taurus today, the weekly. Hopefully everything will stay all right with this stream. All right. If you hear the background music, that is Waywell playing in the background. They're a really beautiful musical duo out of Manchester, England. And their details are in the description if you like what you hear. All right, Taurus. All right, let's get right into your weekly outlook. This is a general weekly outlook. We're going to pull three spirits, right, for you. See what kind of spirits you have working with you this week. And then we're going to pull your animal spirits also. Just make sure. All right. Sorry about this, guys. Just got to check, make sure everything's all right with my camera. All right. All right, let's see. What are these next 7 days like for our lovely Taurus? I do love Taurus. I have a Taurus rising myself, so let's see. What's the next couple of days for my Taurus going to be like? Show me. All right, guys. Straight out. Spirit of the Dummy. I love this one. This one's come out a couple of times, you know. Spirit of the Dummy. A lot of times it's going to be somebody you're dealing with, right? Who's just like, I mean, you know, we're taught not to call people dummies, right? But here we're talking about weakness, right? Someone who's a follower. Spirit of gold. All right, now, Taurus, spirit of gold coming in. Gold has been coming in for you. I'm not surprised. I mean, my readings for you, Taurus, on my channel have been about nothing but abundance and spirit of light coming in, awakening, new dawn, new beginnings. Now, I'm a Sagittarius myself, but I have a Taurus rising, and I have found myself, it's been very difficult for me to get moving lately. You know, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but it has been very difficult for me to sort of get moving, to get motivated. I think a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the world right now anyway. But it does feel like here we're talking about spirit of light. So it could very well be that for some of you Taurus, if you have been feeling this way, there is definitely a new dawn coming in, a new awakening, beginnings. Spirit of gold, of course, wealth is coming in for you, Taurus. And again, I say it, I'm not surprised because for my collective, my Tauruses, the readings that I've been doing for you guys have all been talking about money coming in because a lot of you have been working on projects, careers, businesses. You know, this is the year certainly where my Tauruses and my collective are all about sort of really not even so much about their money game, Spirit of the Zebra popping out, I love him, but really just about sort of manifesting their goals and their dreams, you know. Very, very nice. So let's see what kind of animal spirits you got working with you this week. My lovely, another one. Okay, we got two. Usually I pull them out from the cut, but if they're going to come out, I'm going to take them. Lately the cards have been jumpy, so I got to work with the cards, I guess. All right, we need one more. One more. Crocodile waiting and watching, right? The crocodile and the peacock. So we have beautiful energy here with that peacock. Beautiful, beautiful energy. All right, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, and then we can go on. Wow. All right, well, the eccentric, the watcher, in a lot of ways with that crocodile energy and the peacock. All right, well, the zebra for all of my English watchers. The zebra is fire energy, and this is the person who is sort of quirky, eccentric. This is the one who brings huge amounts of creativity to anything that he does. he or she does, right? The zebra is a lovely animal spirit to have around. This is the type of person who just brings enthusiasm to whatever they do, any kind of project, very eccentric, very individual. Their energy is catching, right? Being around somebody who resonates with zebra energy, it is very sort of I want to say it's contagious, right? So it's kind of like, you leave somebody who resonates with this energy in a room, right? Say you guys are all working on a project. You could leave the room and come back and an hour later, and then it's like everyone else in the room is just as sort of free and creative, People may have unbuttoned their top collar, it's like the zebra energy just brings this kind of like creativity, this free expression, this, in a lot of ways, a lot of fire, but comfortable fire, I want to say. Being confident with really just expressing yourself. It's very nice energy. It's the eccentric also. So Taurus, for those of you who are maybe you are working on an idea or a project that is unusual, right? That is different, that is not down the normal beaten, that is off the beaten path, rather, right? You may be resonating with the spirit of the zebra energy, right? And it's a good thing, just carry on with that, because it takes, it's because of that zebra energy that we have all of the most cool creative things in our lives. Really eccentric energy, very nice. So now the crocodile is water energy, and the crocodile is all about being extremely patient. With this animal spirit, we're talking about patience, we're talking about watching, waiting, waiting for your moment, right? Waiting for your moment to make your move, right? To make your move, to make your decision, right? The crocodile isn't just laying around though. The crocodile is really watching what's going on. He's paying attention and he's watching what's going on around him, because the information that he's getting from that is what's going to help him make his next move. And when he does make his next move, it's going to be boom, just like the crocodile in the wild, So it could be, Taurus, just like I was saying to you earlier, I'm a Taurus rising myself, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I have also been finding myself sort of unable to move forward. But a lot of that inability to move forward has been because of a feeling of really wanting more information until I make my next move. And I feel like this is a lot of this crocodile energy coming in. And a lot of you may be feeling that also. Because Taurus, you are such a hard worker, but at the same time, sometimes it can be difficult for you to make the right decision, right? Or not difficult, but it can take a while for you to make the right decision or act on a particular decision. You know what I'm saying? So in that way, some of you are waiting for information. You're waiting for the exact right time. And it's definitely going to be coming in for you. This week is a week where, you're ready. Now the peacock. The peacock is an incredible, really extraordinary sort of animal spirit. It is beauty in all aspects, right? Beauty in all ways. The peacock sees beauty in all things. It is a beautiful creature in and of itself, right? So the thing with the peacock is that it's not that it realizes it's any more beautiful than anything else. This is what makes it so special. It sees beauty in everything in the world. And, this is the type of person, somebody who resonates with the peacock. Generally, they are, first of all, on the outside, they are mesmerizingly beautiful. There's something about them that is just really, really captivating. But then the nature of who they are, the type of person they are, the type of character the spirit of the peacock brings is usually somebody who's also equally as beautiful on the inside. They really have no ego, right? And when we think about the peacock, right, we think about the feathers, the eyes of a peacock. It's the same way, the peacock is always looking outward for beauty. The peacock sees beauty around it. These eyes on its feathers they're not facing inward. right? They're facing outward. And so this is somebody who, despite the fact that they themselves are extremely beautiful and attractive and people love to be around them, they're also very, very, very humble, and just very, very delightful people to be around. Very special energy. Not everybody resonates with the spirit of the peacock. It's very, it's very unusual. It's very special energy. And it's air energy, of course. But the one thing with the peacock, generally, it's one of those people that other people very easily fall in love with. So, if you ever have one of those friends that everyone else excuse me, everyone else is either secretly or right out in love with them, or, they seem to have a lot of admirers, but they don't seem to notice it. That's the typical spirit of the peacock coming in. Someone who would have that, but who wouldn't really even realize that all eyes are on them, because all of the peacock's eyes are on the rest of the world and seeing beauty in the rest of the world. All right, Taurus, let's pull out your spread for the week. We're going to pull out 3 spreads like I always do for the weeklies. For those of you who are new to my channel, if you dig what you see, you like my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. All of that really, really helps me out right now, especially if you like it. I mean, if you like my videos, because right now it's like everybody, even YouTube, even having your videos on YouTube and trying to get them out there is difficult right now. So if you like what you see, don't forget to like it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and cut your deck and see what your first spread for the week is, Taurus. All right, we have 3 of Pentacles for you, 2 of Pentacles, and we have the 7 of Cups. All right, so some of you are coming into this week dealing with work issues, right? 3 of Pentacles is work issues, right? You're going to be doing more work. 3 of Pentacles is certainly gain. It's working more. It's definitely working more with other people. It could very well be spirit of zebra energy coming in the sense that you're working in, for some of you, you may be increasing project working. You may be increasing the amount of people that you're dealing with just on a face-to-face, like customers or your colleagues. And you may indeed be bringing in some creativity, some uniqueness, some sort of I want to say some eccentricity into all of that. It may be a unique experience for you. It's interesting to me. The spirit of the zebra just feels to me like it's coming in as a result of your work this week, Taurus. So it could very well be that something about, you may even be put in touch with a very eccentric character this week through the course of your work. In any case, as you get further into the week, Taurus, you're going to be worried about money again. You're going to be juggling. 2 of Pentacles has been showing up for a lot of people for my channel. Why? Because everyone right now is going through a very chaotic time financially. 2 of Pentacles is financial chaos. It's ups and downs. It's not knowing where you're going to land. It's having to juggle a lot, right? It's having to keep a lot in the air so that, it doesn't all come crashing down. It's flux. It's chaos. And everyone is going through it right now, which is one of the reasons why this card has been continually showing up for the last couple of months. Nevertheless, this week you are kind of busy with that. Taurus, some of you, you're rounding off your week with that 7 of Cups, and it's like, I want to say it's like a feeling like you have a good feeling about something, but you got to be grounded. Okay, just try to remain grounded, because 7 of Cups can be that energy of too pie in the sky, too perfect, too much of a fantasy, fantasy finish, happily ever after. It can be too much of daydreaming, right? Too much daydreaming on a perfect scenario when reality is different. It can be unrealistic expectations. 7 of Cups is it's a harsh energy, because we need to have daydreaming, right, in our lives. We need to be able to daydream about better times, better places, things we want. It's the dreams that we have that, spur us on to manifest and to create. But the thing with 7 of Cups, it's a little too much. It's just a little bit too much in your head, a little bit too much of unrealistic energy. And a lot of times the best way to deal with this is to just be grounded, just come right back down on the ground. These dreams, it's not so much that they are unrealistic, it's just that oftentimes we're just caught up in the dreaming of it, right? You have to put the work in. At Taurus, of course, you're not one to shy away from work, but there's some real kind of steps that need to be put into place to achieve whatever this goal or outlook is. So just remember to to be your grounded earthy self, Taurus. You're one of the signs that really can accomplish anything, but right now I think you're just going through, if you're resonating with this, you are going through it. You're working hard, yet your finances are up and down, and at the same time you are very much sort of like have your head on an idea that maybe right now is not that feasible, right? It may be in the future, but right now it isn't. So by the end of the week, certainly make sure that if you are getting caught, just caught away with yourself a little bit, just to bring yourself a little bit back down to the ground. Next one, Five of Swords. Ooh, Judgment. Haven't seen Judgment in a while, and Four of Swords. Well, some of you have a battle. Five of Swords is that battle card. It's that power struggle card. It's a battle with somebody that's like, it's a battle that's not worth having anymore. It's a battle that's this person is generally very underhanded. There's somebody who's going to do anything to win this battle. They're going to. It's a swords card, so they're going to resort to gossip. They're going to resort to backstabbing. They're going to resort to all kinds of shady things to sort of win this battle. Five of Swords in a lot of decks is called the card for defeat. And the reason why is that it isn't so much that we have a defeat, but it's like it's a battle that we have with somebody where we decide, you know what, enough is enough. I've had enough with this battle already. You win. It's like you win. It's like you just don't care about winning anymore. You just care about moving on and not being in the battle. And a lot of times it's so in this way, it's not really a defeat, but it's a lot of times taking the high road. And it's also realizing that the longer you carry on in this particular battle, the lower you're getting yourself. You know what I mean? It's almost like carrying this on with this particular person or group of people, even it can be, but usually it's an individual person that is, that you're battling with or that you have this power struggle with. But you also kind of realize that carrying on doing this or engaging in this with this person is just sinking you down into the mud with them. It's just bringing you down. And so in a lot of ways, yes, it's the card for defeat, but it's really like allowing somebody to have their hollow victory so that you can get on with life. Interestingly enough, you come into the week with this, Taurus, and I think for some of you, you are absolutely walking away because you have Spirit of Light coming in, and I think that Spirit of Light is absolutely, hello there in the chat. I cannot pronounce your name because I believe it is in Hebrew. I'm not sure, but I believe that's Hebrew, but I can't read Hebrew. So God bless you, and thank you for stopping by, darling. But it's interesting though that you will come into the week with this Five of Swords energy because this Spirit of Light energy, this new dawn, this beginning, this awakening. I think the awakening coming in this week is that you're dealing with a dummy. You're battling with someone who. It's like I said, it's not worth it for you anymore, right? And I think this awakening and this new dawn is letting you know that, right? Something is coming in for you that's really opening your eyes this week to this struggle. You may not have even realized you were in this battle with someone until this week, until the events of this week, Taurus. You come up to judgment energy. So this is very interesting because judgment is experiences that really expand our horizon. When we have more experiences in our lives, judgment is an awakening in a lot of ways that comes in. But it's an awakening about the way we judge life, about the way we discern certain situations. And so what judgment brings with us to us in our lives is a more objective view of the world, a less subjective view and a more objective view because you've now had more experiences. A lot of times judgment energy can also be a feeling of, a what's that word? Reconciliation. Excuse me. I kept thinking of consolidation, reconciliation coming in, a feeling of going back to maybe a relationship that wasn't going so well before, or a relationship that you now realize maybe you judged a little harshly, or you acted in certain ways that now the experience you have, it's really changing your viewpoint. Judgment is really about understanding who we are and understanding that we're only humans and that we can change also through experience. It's a really nice, strong energy. And it's definitely an energy of awakening. It is the 20 card in the major arcana. So we're talking about another sort of completion, another cycle, and certainly awakening to our own judgments and our own sort of single-minded outlook is a form of completion. So you have this week. And you decide, how am I going to move forward with that Four of Swords? How will I move forward with this? For some of you, it's like you move away from this battle and you end up moving towards someone else. I want to say for some of you, Taurus, it feels to me like you may have... it almost feels to me, Taurus, like for some of you, you may have found yourself in a relationship with somebody that turned into a Five of Swords, like a romantic relationship. And this week, you're kind of realizing that you don't want this anymore. But what you do want is someone that you've had a connection with before that you might be wanting to reconcile with. All right, Taurus. So some of you might be wanting to reconcile. You might be realizing that the connection you're in now is just too brutal. It's too much battling. There's no love there. And really the connection you do want is one that will require some reconciliation. So by the end of the week, some of you will indeed be thinking about this, because Four of Swords is strategy. So you're going to be thinking about your strategy, I think, for either how to get out of this and go back to this person, or go back to whoever this person is that is making you feel like you want to revisit the past with them. You're going to be thinking about this a lot, Taurus. I think it feels to me like some of you are caught between a current relationship and a past relationship. And the current relationship just is brutal right now. And the past relationship is the one that's kind of calling you. By the end of the week, like I said, you're really going to be thinking a lot about, how to do this, if you want to do this. Four of Swords energy there. Queen of Wands, the Devil, and Death. All right, well, that's the final spread, Taurus. What can I say? A lot of you have been through a lot. Queen of Wands comes out when you've been through a lot. She's the one who shows up when you have literally gone through the fire yet one more time, when you've had to learn something, where you've had a certain experience, where it's been hard. It's been difficult. And I want to say that, you're resonating with this coming in this week, Taurus. You're coming in this week on a heel of a really long, difficult journey. Two strong major arcanas, the Devil and Death. So you're coming into this week, and there's going to be some, I want to say for some of you, there will be a real feeling of being tempted. Right? There's going to be a feeling of being tempted down a particular road that perhaps you've worked really hard to get away from with that Queen of Wands. It almost feels like a test, Taurus. It almost feels like some of you are going to be tested this week in a particular area in your life that you've, specifically sort of worked to get out of. You know what I mean? Specifically sort of worked towards moving away from that in your life, person, place, or thing. And this week, it's like they come in again with that Devil energy. I don't think you go for it. I don't think you take it, but it feels to me like the final test, because by the end of the week, you have Death coming in. So this is the ending. This is finally the ending. Finally, this is the moving away, I want to say. The separation, the ending, the cut. But it almost feels to me like for some of you, Taurus, this week was like the final sort of test, the final kind of temptation. For some of you, a lot is changing. You will have gone through, for some of you, I'm going to say, you may have, for instance, been in rehabilitation, or you may have come out of, therapeutic therapy, right? Long-term therapy, behavioral therapy, emotional therapy, what have you, right? Something like that is what it feels like to me. And you've made a huge amount of progress. You're now in this really strong, healthy position, Queen of Wands. And this is what I mean. It feels like this week with this devil energy, you're being very much sort of tempted for just a second to go down that road. But obviously, it doesn't really happen. And by the end of the week, death comes in because for some of you, there's a huge change coming in on the heels of this. It could be that you're moving. You may be moving where you live. You may be moving your jobs, or there's a huge change happening in your life that's coming on the heels of the changes that you have made. But it's not happening just yet until you have this last little sort of like, hey, are you sure you're over it? Are you sure you're healed? Are you sure you're, rehabilitated? Are you sure you have your finger where, on the pulse of your life? Do you know what you want to do next? This is kind of the energy the devil is bringing this week. That questioning energy, the type of energy that causes an internal power conflict or power struggle. Like I said, 5 is the number 4 power struggle. The devil is the 15, and it's an internal power struggle, and it's people, places, or things that cause that internal power struggle for us, right? And so it's that war that we have. Do I let go? Do I succumb to my instant gratification? Do I become a slave to my passions, or do I work and rise above? And this is really the energy here. You rise above, but it's interesting that you will be going through this now, just as you are coming out of this really, really difficult period. Almost for some of you, it's almost going to feel like you thought the worst was behind you, and then this week, it may be a bit sort of scary even. It may almost feel like for a second you're slipping, but you won't. And everything is going to change for the better. Spirit of gold, spirit of light coming in. All right, guys, I love you so much, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, subscribe, and share. All of that really, really helps my channel right now, especially with YouTube right now. It's like half the people who are there, like nobody's working at YouTube. So a lot of us are like struggling to get our videos up. Sometimes the live stream isn't working. So, I really appreciate all your support, through all of that, through all the glitches and all the weird streams and stuff. Thank you so much for supporting Bow and Arrow Tarot. My name is Rebecca. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, Taurus. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll be back with the Gemini General Weekly. For right now, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and above all, of course, stay kind to each other. Bye-bye now.